Welcome back to ABC News Live Report. In our spotlight tonight, President Trump is threatening to ban institutional investors from buying single-family homes. Trump is arguing that corporate real estate ownership is driving up housing prices for Americans. But critics say large investors own just 1 to 3% of single-family homes across the U.S. And others say the government needs to do more to improve affordability for first-time home buyers. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median price of an existing home in the U.S. now tops $400,000 with mortgage rates near 6%. So for more on this, I want to bring in senior economist at Realtor.com, Jake Krimmel. He joins me now. Jake, thank you for your time. But listen, the president's statements come amid an affordability crisis for first-time home buyers. I'm curious, how could this change the current market?
Well, I think, unfortunately, this policy proposal in and of itself is not really going to move the needle very much for first-time home buyers or for the market in general. And, the big question here is, are large-scale institutional investors crowding out prospective home buyers? Are they the reason for our housing shortage and for the affordability crisis? And the answer is no. And so although these trends of institutional investors, they grab headlines, large corporate ownership, it does sound very spooky, but it's a bit of a red herring when it comes to the broader supply and affordability debate.
Well, and listen, I mean, we hear those stats about large investors being 1 to 3%, but also, that 1 to 3% might be concentrated in a major market like in Atlanta or one of these other metropolitans. So, is it possible that, maybe not overall there's an impact, but certainly you could see it regionally?
Yeah, I think there is some nuance to be discussed here. And you're right to bring up those Sunbelt markets. Atlanta and Charlotte, I think, for example, are some of the two of the markets where institutional investor activity has historically been quite high. However, in those Sunbelt markets in particular right now, what we're seeing is the markets are already quite soft, and inventory has been growing there in the existing home and new home markets already. So on one hand, the markets there are moving in the right direction as far as affordability, as far as becoming more buyer friendly. But even so, we haven't seen prices come down all that much. I think things are moving in the right direction in those markets, but I think that's largely due to the regular market forces as opposed to, institutional investor activity.
Well, and we have a lot of finger pointing in this affordability debate, but I'm curious, in your estimation, what really is the major factor when it comes to housing shortages?
I think from a housing economist, this is no surprise that it's going to come down to supply, housing shortages, and the inability to build new homes at large scale en masse in areas where folks want to live. And so that's, again, no easy, it's a big endemic problem, and there's no silver bullet solving it. It's going to be something that unravels over time. But what it will take to solve that sort of problem is coordination across governments to reform zoning laws, to make it easier to build where folks want to live, and also to streamline permitting processes to bring homes to market much faster.
Yeah, well, and I feel like, you turn on social media and you see, all these posts or memes about, is the housing dream, something of the past, or is renting the thing of the future? I'm curious. Is that white picket fence American dream, something that still that you're still seeing a lot of strength for amongst first-time home buyers?
Yes, we are. I think folks are being, frozen out of the market right now due to affordability concerns. But in survey research that we've done at Realtor.com, consistently we've seen that, the American dream, at least in theory, is alive and well. Folks do want to own a home. They see it as a large part of the American dream. But, a smaller majority of respondents to those surveys are saying, it may or may not be possible for me right now, at least, which means that we have a lot of work to do as far as bringing more supply to market and bringing prices to, a more affordable level.
All right. Jake Krimmel, hey, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks. Take care.